Right. Hello, and welcome to another weekly Ready Communities update. My name is Chad Renando.
And I'm Kerry Grace. Before we start, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians and elders past and present.
Excellent. Thank you, Kerry. And we were down in Grafton this week doing all things Ready Grafton. Really looking forward to giving you guys an update on that. But really, the focus heading up to the Social Impact in the Regions Conference, which is coming in September, and it is right around the corner. Kerry, what's happening with the conference and where are we at?
Oh, don't remind me, it's right around the corner. I can feel every inch of that time ticking away. Anyone that's ever organized an event will know how stressful it is in the last little bit, and it doesn't help that I'm moving house simultaneously, really. Nevertheless, I'm so excited about how this program's coming together. So, if you've been to Social Impact in the Regions before, you'll know it's not necessarily about having big name speakers to try and be a draw card. The draw card that we try and get across to people is that it's actually about the program and what you'll learn here, who you'll meet here, and how you'll actually change here so that your practice back on the ground or the observation that you have of people who are working on the ground in regional communities changes so fundamentally that it's your work is more sustainable, it has more impact, and you have a network to help you along the way. So just to give the listeners some insights, Chad, day one, we've shaped that around the Nirvana song, Come As You Are. So on day one, we really do a bit of benchmarking about what is this whole thing called place and why are people talking about it. We look at it from a policy perspective, a funder's perspective, and then look at it from the grassroots perspective. So that gives us a really robust conversation. And Natalie Eggleton, the CEO of Foundation for Regional Renewal, has very kindly agreed to essentially narrate that panel as it runs through. Then we've got that excellent workshop on demystifying the impact economy with Elise Paraps, which will also be excellent. And then something I'm really excited about, and we might just kind of pause on the program to talk about this a bit, is the impact labs that are coming out on the first day. So these are evolving constantly because they're a byproduct, or that they're actually a focus of the Ready Communities program. The one I'm getting really excited about is the one on food and food systems. So there's some really good opportunities in the Grafton community around that because it's essentially a food bowl for the Northern Rivers. And looking at food security and other things like that, we have an excellent impact leader in Councillor Deborah Novak, and really looking forward to seeing how this spins out. So maybe you could talk a little bit about how those impact labs are related to the Ready Communities work.
Yeah, thanks for that, Kerry. And it is really exciting. It's one of the key differences of what we do in that when the conference comes to a town, quite often in the past, it can feel like it's just kind of fly in, fly out. It's great, it's incredible, but not really that deep connection. So part of what we're doing with Ready Communities is that 10-month lead in. Is we're not saying that the social impact in the Regions Conference is entirely defined by the local community, but absolutely is deeply connected with and informed by the things that matter because the reality is that the things that are important in Grafton, they're going to be important in 80-90% of the regional communities out there. And so thinking about the impact areas that we're looking at from youth futures to interconnectivity to housing and infrastructure to CBD activation and Main Street activation. Lifelong learning is another one that I'm really excited about. We had some conversations this week about lifelong learning, where it's a concept on how do you create a learning community? How do you learn as individuals? How do we have lifelong learning as our organizations? And overall, how do we show the evidence of how we're learning? The CBD activation is going to be really interesting. And what those impact labs are is it's getting those delegates together and we really work through and brainstorm and roll our sleeves up because that's the other thing that we hear loud and clear from delegates that go to a conference is they want to be put to use. They want to actually get in there because we learn through doing. We learn through action. We learn how when we have an experience together and how are we changed. And so when you come to the Social Impact in the Regions Conference, we pretty much guarantee that you will be changed. And we actually measure that change through our readiness index in one of the 5 ways. When you come there, you will have greater clarity and understanding. You're going to learn new things, get new content. You're going to get greater connection and connectivity, which is number 2. You're going to meet new people and that are outside your region and also that are passionate about what you're doing. You're going to build capability and capacity. You will gain new skills and potentially find new revenue and funding opportunities. You will collaborate for purpose around the things that matter for you and potentially start new projects or advance your projects. And finally, advocacy and promotion. It will be a platform for you to advocate for your cause, to promote your cause, as well as to engage with others who are advocating for theirs. And so we do measure the impact, not just of the delegates, but of the region overall. So I'm really looking forward to seeing some of those outcomes.
Oh, me too. And I just love the whole Impact Lab concept because not only are we adding value to the local community, like you said, it is a pathway for people to learn about things that are relevant to their own community as well. So far we have the Impact Lab on food, and Andrew Wardy is going to come and facilitate that for us, which is really great. And then we have one on social enterprise, and we'll have Tom Allen from Impact Boom will come and facilitate that one, which we're really excited about too. That's with the Very Reverend Naomi Cook, and they have some really great ideas for social enterprise with the Anglican Church in Grafton. And there's a few other ones which we'll mention in coming workshops as well. Day two of the program, where look, there's a massive surprise just about to happen. I will tell ticket holders. I'm not going to tell the rest of the market yet. So you're going to have a ticket to find out what it's all about, I'm afraid. However, the structure of it is a plenary session in the morning. So day two is on the Nirvana song "As You Were." So it gives us a good opportunity to talk about healing in the community, people who are working in the community sector, care about their communities, care about people. We can carry a lot of trauma. So while we're not going to address trauma head on, we want to give you a set of tools that you can take back to your community because we do acknowledge that a lot of communities have lacking resources in these areas, and there are things that everyday people can do. So we're going to explore the idea of healing and what that means through a lot of different lenses. And we're also going to, on that day, talk about moving into action and how you can be moved from being very stuck into getting into action. Again, another practical workshop. Then we've got our actual workshops, which are breakout sessions. So there's 12 in total. We don't repeat them. And they're all around the community. So this is when we know that people love the feature of social impact in the regions where they get their boots on the ground and get to have a look around. So a hint, that's where the surprise is going to be existing. So, like I said, you've got to be a ticket holder to learn that surprise, or you can look at the photos after. Day three, we're back in the main venue and running a workshop with Taz and Em from Futures Isle, who we all know that we love closing up the sessions. That is all about action that day, and we let everybody explore their readiness index, and that's something they can take back to their own communities too. Um, Lots of surprises weaved throughout. Probably my favorite part of organizing the conference is getting all of the arts and entertainment around it. So I've been having a good time scoping out local artists and other all kinds of artists that we're bringing in to the event this year.
Yeah, it really is shaping up to be pretty exciting. And what I love about the lead into it is that you do uncover all this talent, all these ideas that are in the local community. It's pretty incredible. That said, we are also still working in Kempsey. So last year we did Ready McClay with an emphasis on Kempsey. And one of the projects we're working on this year is supporting both youth mapping overall, as well as working with Dalaga as far as supporting that whole conversation around early childhood development, preschools, business models, mapping the value chain within the community, getting that really deep. Because quite often when we do the Ready Communities program, it can be high level across a lot of different focus areas. And then year two, we really dive into some of those deeper areas. And that project's shaping up to be pretty good as well.
I love it, Chad. I've been fortunate enough to do a lot of work with the Early Childhood Education Centre throughout my career. And like I say to you, every time we leave the building, I just love working with these people. When you really think about the heart of a community and what's driving communities to be connected, it comes that sector, the people are so passionate and really genuinely love what they do and can see what they're setting up for the greater good of the community that they're operating in.